Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. So in today's session, we are going to discuss two very important news articles of finance regarding the Reserve Bank of India. The first one is about the limit that has been raised for the e-mandate. So why RBI has raised this limit and what was the limit before? What is the new limit? What is this e-mandate all about? We are going to understand all of that in today's session. As well as the Reserve Bank of India has also allowed the UPI payment through the credit cards. So now the credit cards will also be linked with the UPI. So let's see that in today's session. Before starting with the session, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are new to the channel and join our Telegram channel for the PDF of this session. And you can get the link of the Telegram channel in the description box below. So now starting with the first news article that the UPI will be linked to the RuPay credit cards. Okay, so UPI currently facilitates the transaction by linking the debit cards. So it is linking the debit cards with the UPI. Okay, that is the savings or the current accounts are linked through the debit cards to the UPI. So for the credit card, there are many users, there are many customers in India that are using the credit cards mostly. So for them, there was no facility of UPI because the UPI only allows the debit cards to be linked to the UPI. So now it has been said by the RBI to further deepen the usability, to further deepen the reach of the UPI. It is said that we will allow the credit card also to be linked to the UPI. So now it is proposed by the RBI to allow the linking of credit cards to the UPI to deepen the reach of the UPI to make the UPI more accessible, usable. Okay, so to allow the usability for the credit card users also, it is said that the credit cards will be linked with the UPI. So you do not have to carry the physical credit card. You can directly use the UPI to transact for the credit also. Okay, credit cards are like in the debit card, what is happening? You have the money in your accounts and you are using that money to transact. But in the credit card, what happens that you do not have the money. That is a kind of small loan that you are taking. So even you have to pay for the 10,000 in a shop. So that 10,000 is not actually in your account. You are taking that as a loan from the bank. So that will also be allowed through the UPI because the credit card details will be linked with the UPI. Okay, so you do not have to physically carry the credit cards now. You can directly use it through the UPI after it become accessible. So to start with, it has been said that the credit cards that are linked with the RuPay, that is linked with the card payment network, that is the RuPay, only those credit cards will be enabled with this facility of linking with the UPI. So to start with, the RBI has said that we will allow RuPay credit cards, that is the credit cards that is linked with the card network, RuPay card network, those cards will be allowed to link with the UPI. And the arrangement is expected to provide more avenues, more convenience to the customers in making payments through the UPI platform. Because now, see what happens that usually everyone carry mobile everywhere. So through mobile they can pay directly through the debit cards. But what if they have to use the credit card to pay? Okay, they do not have that much money in their account, so then they have to use the credit cards and they have to carry it in the physical form. But now if they are connected, if the credit card is linked with the UPI, now they do not have to carry the credit card also. They can directly pay through the UPI now when the credit card gets linked with the UPI. Okay. Secondly, this was a good thing. This is a good thing for the customers that they do not have to carry the credit cards in physical form. Second thing, for the merchants, there are many small shopkeepers or there are many merchants that do not have the POS machines. For the credit cards, they need to have the POS machine to swipe the cards. But now the merchants that have the QR code, that just have the QR code, will also be able to take the payments through the credit card through the UPI. So it is beneficial for the customers because they do not have to carry the physical form the credit card, and they can pay where the QR are also there, where the POS machines is not available. For the merchants also, they do not have to keep the POS machines now. They can just have the QR codes, and through that QR codes, the customers can pay through the debit card, through the credit card, through the prepaid instruments, through anything now. Okay, so now it has been decided by the RBI to link the credit cards and the credit cards that are connected with the card network of the RuPay. This facility will be available after the required system development is complete. Okay, that has to be done by the NPCI. So the RBI has given the decision, RBI has given the proposal. Now NPCI will be developing the whole system of the connection, and necessary instructions will be issued to NPCI separately. So it will take a little time for the connection to happen, for the linking to happen, but the RBI has decided that such a thing will happen, so of course it will come soon. So it will be very beneficial for the customers, for the merchants. So additional information that you need to know about the UPI, about the RuPay credit card. First, the RuPay credit card is not given by all the banks. It is there are some banks that allow its customers to have the RuPay credit cards. Okay, so those are the PNB, SBI, IDBI. These are the banks that allow their customers to have the RuPay credit card. Now the UPI information, as RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das noted in May 2022 alone. So it is the most recent data regarding the UPI. Okay, most recent data. So 594.63 crore transactions amounting to 10.40 lakh crore were processed through UPI. So UPI has already such a great reach, and to connect now the credit cards also, so the credit card users can also use the UPI directly without using the credit card. That is also a big thing to increase the reach, to increase the usability of the UPI. So you can read the data regarding the UPI. UPI has over 250 million unique users and 50 million merchants onboarded. And the platform processed almost this much of the transactions and worth this much. Okay, so you can read the information regarding the UPI. Now coming to the next information, that is the debit credit card, no OTP needed for the recurring payments. Recurring payments are like the payments that you have to do every month, like the subscriptions, Netflix subscription you have to pay every month. So those are the recurring payments that you have to do again after again. Okay, recurring, that is recurring in nature. So the first processing of e-mandate on cards for recurring transaction, this kind of notification was released in August 2019. RBI has announced, now the RBI has announced an increase in limit for e-mandate standing instructions on credit cards and prepaid payments instruments for recurring transactions. So what is this e-mandate? See, through the e-mandate, see, if you are the card holder, you have a card and you are putting the consent, okay, you are putting your details and everything, and you are giving the consent to the merchant that, okay, take from my card every month this much to 1000 of the rupees every month for the Netflix subscription. So that is the recurring payment every month, that 1000 rupees will be deducted from your account. So through an e-mandate, the card holder gives the consent, permission to the merchant. It is the permission to the merchant platforms to debit their credit or debit card for recurring payment requests that merchants may send. Okay, so when the notification regarding the processing of e-mandate came in 2019, the stakeholders, the market participants were saying that we have to again and again give the OTP, and the customer has to again and again verify the OTP. Every month it has to be done. Okay, for the small payments also. So such kind of things should not happen, and just do the one-time registration, and after that the recurring payment should not have the OTP or the authentication. So it was said that the current framework on processing of e-mandate based recurring payments requires for an additional factor authentication for payment value above 5000. So it was not for below 5000. So if the payments were of below 5000, the payment has not to be, the additional factor authentication, the OTP has not to be given. So that was a big thing, that it made the payment very easy for the customers. It made the process very easy for the merchants also, because they do not have to go through one extra process. For the banks also, they do not have to go through one extra process. They just can take the recurring payment of less than 5000 without having the OTP, without giving the additional factor authentication. Okay, that is for the value less than 5000. Okay, in 2019 it was for less than 2000, but in 2021 January it was raised, the limit was raised to 5000, and currently the limit has been raised further. Okay, for the e-mandate, I hope you have understood that it is the permission that is given to the merchant platform to take the money from their credit card or the debit card, and that is for the recurring payments, only for the recurring payments. Okay, just the card holder has to do a one-time registration with the issuer of the card. As of now, you will say it is a very risky thing that is happening, okay, because the money is directly getting deducted from the account. How will I know that when the money is being deducted? So for that, as a risk mitigant and customer facilitation measure, the issuer of the card shall send a pre-transaction notification that is at least 24 hours prior to the actual transaction or debit, charge or debit to the card. The notification has to be sent. That's it. There is no additional factor authentication. The customer has not to send any OTP or something. Just the issuer of the card will just send a message 24 hours before that your money is will get deducted in 24 hours. So if you want to stop it, you can stop it, or if you want to continue, you do not have to do anything. So before 24 hours of the payment of the deduction of the money, the message has to be sent in the email or SMS through email or whatever, or any other method that the customer has specified. Through that method, the message notification has to be sent to the customer. So now, before in 2019, when the notification came regarding the e-mandate, regarding saying that okay, you can take the money, you can do the recurring payment without the additional factor authentication if it is less than 2,000. Then the limit was raised in 2021 January to 5,000, and now in June 2022 the limit has been raised from 5,000 to 15,000. That is, the RBI raised the cap on recurring e-mandate based payments to rupees 15,000 from 5,000 in order to facilitate larger value payments like the insurance premium you have to give, you have to buy some journals from outside. So all of that can be done through this now. Okay, e-mandate recurring payments regarding the e-mandate. E-mandate means electronic permission that you are giving for the money to get deducted from your account in recurring amounts. Okay, in recurring period. The Reserve Bank of India said auto transactions up to rupees 15,000 no longer require customers to authenticate such payments manually with a one-time password each and every time. They just have to do the registration first, and for the first transaction they have to give the OTP, but after that, for every month the transaction that is happening, for that they do not have to give the OTP or any additional factor authentication. They do not have to do. So these were the two news articles. I hope you have understood it very clearly, and I hope you can easily give the answers now of these two questions. So thank you very much. If you have any query, you can mail us here or you can contact us through this number. Thank you.